Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's episode of Know the Therapist. My name is Jennifer, and I'm a counseling psychologist. We are waiting for our guest, who is Ivanna Waweru. She is also a counseling psychologist, and she'll be telling us a little bit about her work, how she does it, why she does it, and yeah, that should be fun. So, if you have not yet gotten your pen and paper to listen and write whatever comes up that might be important, this is a good time to do that. And if you need to get a glass of water, maybe some tea or something to keep you company as we wait for Ivanna and as we go on with the live, this is a good time to do that as well. So, yeah, let's wait for Ivanna to join the live. Let's give her a minute or two, and then we'll see how all this goes. In the meantime, if you have any questions, you can put them in the comment section, and Ivanna will respond to them before the end of the live. So, yeah. Let's just give Ivanna a minute to join. So Ivanna is here, about to get logged in. So let's give her a second so that she can get into the live. Ivanna, I don't know if you can hear me from your end. Oh yeah, there you are. You have to turn your camera to face you. Yes, there you are.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very well. Can you hear me? Can you see me clearly?
Yeah, I can see you clearly and I can hear you clearly. Can you also hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I don't know if this is your camera that is a bit blurry, but it's not too bad, although it's a bit blurry. I don't know if it's your camera or that's just a thing.
Let me try and work on it.
Yes.
Just give me a minute.
Yes. Welcome, CD, to the live. And you can invite a friend to join as well if they are online. Yeah. Thank you for being here, CD.
Well.
Thank you, Ken. Yes, much better. Thank you, Ken, for joining our live. Karibu sana. All right. So, Ivanna, welcome to Know the Therapist. We're very glad to have you here, and I'm really excited for our conversation today. So, just to get started, maybe you can tell us how your day has been, how your week has been so far, considering tomorrow is a public holiday. Where are you?
Yeah. Truthfully, I'm very tired. It's been a very busy week and a very busy month. But I'm glad to be here. And yeah, I don't take it for granted that I'm busy. So it's a good thing, although I'm very tired.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Pole sana, but hopefully tomorrow is a public holiday, yeah? Is it tomorrow or today?
Yes, it is. Tomorrow.
It's tomorrow.
And how have you been? How has your week been?
I've been very well. I am doing very well. I am actually very well rested. And I don't mean to brag, considering you're not in that place. But I've had a really splendid week. That's why I'm even confused about whether tomorrow is a holiday or not. Like my week has been very yeah, it's been very good.
Your
And
week
I'm
has
also
been
very
a holiday.
my entire week has been an holiday, to be honest, and I'm very grateful for that, because I know there are days that are too intense that you wish for simpler days, and so I don't take this for granted. I'm really, really grateful. So yeah. So we are going to get straight into it so that we don't take too much time, so that I can give you also time to go ahead and get some rest. And so maybe you can start by introducing yourself to us, telling us your name and what kind of work you do. I know you're a counseling psychologist, but you can tell us a bit more about how you do that kind of work, what training you have in it, and how long you've been doing it.
Okay, so my name is Ivanna Waweru, And yeah, I'm a counseling psychologist. I studied counseling psychology. I have done a diploma. I have done a degree in the same field. And my specialization is teenagers, young people, and children. That's what I do really well. Although I am a general practitioner, yeah, my great areas are teenagers, youth, and children. Um, what else? What else were you asking in that question?
About how long you've been doing the work.
Yeah, so I graduated from my BA in 2018, but I've been doing this from 2016 after I did my diploma. So that's about 6 years. So 4 to 6 years. But in employment, 4 years.
Okay, that's fantastic. In that period of the, let's call it 6 years or 4 years, whichever goes, but in the duration you've been practicing, you
Yeah.
mentioned that you work with teenagers and you work with young people. Has that always been the case, or did you start out doing everything? What was the what what was the transition like? How did you end up in this place? Or was that, yeah? I don't
Okay.
know if there's a question there.
Yeah, no, it's a good question, and I have a very easy answer. So, first of all, as you can see, I'm a young counselor, I'm a young psychologist. So, by virtue of that, I'm able to help young people feel comfortable. So, the first time I did my work was with teenage moms. I was a teen mom myself. So I began working with teenage mothers. And as I progressed, of course, I went on into young people. And then I realized I'm also good with teenagers and helping them realize themselves and mentoring them. So it just happened, but mostly I think it's because I'm also a young counselor and I feel more comfortable working with young people and teenagers. And I feel like I do it very well and effectively.
That's fantastic. Now that you've mentioned it, I'm very curious about how the origins of how you became a counselor. Considering you've mentioned being a young mom and working with young moms, being a teenage mom,
Yeah.
to be precise. Maybe you can tell us a bit more about how you ended up becoming a counselor. Where did this all begin?
Uh, it's a long story, but let me try and put it in brief. So basically, I was pregnant at 18 and I was supposed to go and do a course in beauty. My mom wanted me to go and do something, because now I was pregnant, I was young. The plan she had for my life had somehow been disrupted. So she looked for something I could do. And so I began with beauty, but then I realized, no, this is not for me. And then I realized there was a course nearby that was in counseling, and I decided to go in that direction. So, yeah, so I decided to go in that direction, and yeah, it worked for me because it helped me with my own personal issues, and it also helped me, yeah, learn people, learn myself, deal with my issues, become a good mom. I don't know, I think, yeah, it just helped me a lot to become a better person.
What so what I'm hearing is that you kind of stumbled upon it. It was not really the plan that you had initially, because you've also mentioned that the plan that your mom had for your life is it did not pan out as she thought. So I'm wondering, was there a conflict between the plan you had for yourself and the plan you had or your mom had for you? Did counseling ever appear anywhere, or did you just stumble upon it? Yeah.
I just think I stumbled upon it because I wanted to be a journalist, honestly. But when this happened, I stumbled upon counseling and I was like, let me try. And my mom thought this is a good idea for someone who just got pregnant and they're young, For a parent, she's like, this is good for you. So we stumbled upon it. But when I got there, I really, really liked what was happening there. I really resonated with the teachings, with everything. Everything made sense to me. And so I decided to finish it. I decided to go on to the BA.
So
Yeah.
during that time, during that training, for to become a counselor, what was the biggest realization for you? Like, I keep telling people, if when you're studying to become a counselor or a mental health professional, it feels like you're in a therapy session, an extended therapy session, because every day you're discovering new things about yourself. You're discovering
Your
you're
voice is
learning.
going lower.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, but not as
Can you hear me now?
clearly. I don't know. Can you still hear me the same way?
Yes,
Oh, your voice has gone
we can hear you.
significantly lower.
Oh,
Pardon?
okay. I don't know what the issue could be. Maybe the guys in the live can let us know. CD, Ken, and Diana, please let us know if you can hear us loud and clear, so that we don't keep going and maybe there's a technical issue. But I hope you can hear me now. And my question was, during school, when you're studying to become a counselor, I keep saying that it feels like you're
Yeah.
in an extended class. It feels like you're in an extended therapy session, because every day you discover new things about yourself during those 4 years of study or those 2 years of study. So for you, what was the thing that you discovered about yourself during that time?
I think I discovered my love for people, or my love for seeing people excel. And it's something I realized all through. I've realized that I love seeing people achieve the best version of themselves, which I didn't know before. Yeah, so it's something I like about me and something I enjoy doing.
Oh, okay. That's fantastic. That's awesome. So in your own personal experience, I don't know if your school required you to go and get personal therapy, and if it did, what was your experience with personal therapy?
My experience with?
Personal therapy. Did your school require you to go for personal therapy?
Yeah, I did about, between diploma and my BA, I think I've done about 50 sessions.
Hmm.
I think diploma needed me to do 30 and degree 15. So
Hmm.
in total, I did about 50. Yeah.
And what was your experience during that time as a client?
Yeah. It was a bit intense. I changed counselors a few times, I think 4 times.
Hmm.
Therapy is a bit of a very personal thing to go through. And if you don't like your counselor, I was even telling my friends, counseling is very personal. Like, if you don't like your therapist, you don't like your therapist, and you can't continue with your therapist. It's not like a doctor or a mechanic. No, it's not the same. So sometimes I'd change my therapist based on my feelings and how I feel they are helping me. So I think it was positive in the fact that now I knew what I would not do in my counseling practice and what
Hmm.
I would do in my counseling practice to make sure my clients are comfortable.
Hmm. Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
that's usually a good experience for most mental health professionals. I keep saying that I don't think it's appropriate for any mental practitioner to practice without having sat in a client's seat to experience what it is like. So I think that's a really really
Yeah.
good that's a really important part of the training. So now that you've mentioned that you love people, you love working with people, and you love uh, doing helping and all that good stuff. But there are many other professions that you could be in doing exactly that, helping people and being with people. But then you choose counseling. Why do you do counseling?
Why did I choose counseling?
No, no, no. I mean, you could be doing the things that you're doing right now, helping people, serving people, working with teenagers. You could be doing all those things under different capacities. But then you do this thing as a counselor. Why do you do the work that you do? What is your why?
Uh, yeah. I think it's the fulfillment I get from seeing the fact that people need it and people rarely get it. And for me, the most thing I think about is making a difference in someone's life. I want to go deep into their life and make a difference in a positive way. I think sometimes people try to talk to the person, advise a person, change a person. But for me, I prefer going deep with a person, seeing who they are and seeing how they can make it better for them. So for me, it's the fulfillment I get from seeing someone just find the solution within themselves. It's very fulfilling, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Of course, I'm sure there are other ways, but for now, I really enjoy doing it in my way. And it's a very
Okay, that's
subtle way of helping someone. Yeah, but it works wonders.
Yeah, that's interesting to know. I think most mental health professionals do go into it for the fulfillment. It really does bring something in your life that you can't really get from many other professions, and I think it's an important thing. Um, so you've mentioned you also that you work with teenagers, you work with young people, you've worked with teenage moms. During that time, if now right now a teenager was listening to you, or if a young mom was listening to you, or a parent to a young mother, to a parent whose child is a young mom, what would be your message to them, considering that that is an area you've worked with extensively?
One message I'd tell a young mom. First, let me start with the young mom because that's a group I relate with a lot. It's okay. You know, if you've made a mistake, if you feel like something has happened when you weren't ready, it's okay. You need to accept the situation. There's always people there to support you. Look for the support. And also remember to take care of yourself despite how hard life is. Because life can get hard, especially when you're a young mom. But just take
Yeah.
care of yourself the way you know how. The other thing now I'd tell parents to young moms is love your child. Life is already hard. Don't be the one who makes it harder. Love your child, be there for your child, support them. If you think they don't know they made a mistake, you're wrong. They know they made a mistake. They are so embarrassed about it. Everyone out there is making sure they know they made a mistake. So if you're a parent out there to a young girl or a young mom, a young girl who's become a mom, take care of her, support her, love her, let her know out there she may be judged, but inside your house, she will find the love she needs and support. Yeah.
What do you think makes it most difficult for parents to accept their kids when they become young moms?
What the society will say.
Mm-hmm.
We're always worried, oh, what will people say about me? How will people see me? People will judge my parenting skills. Oh, I look like a bad mother. But I think people and parents in particular need to be, what's it called? Need to be secure in the fact that they're good parents. And when your child
Mm-hmm.
gets let's say, a teenage pregnancy or goes into drugs or into any other vice, it doesn't mean you're a bad parent. No. Our children out here right now, especially teenagers, because I work with many of them, they're going into these things. They're going into these things, and it's making it, it's not about the parent. It's about the society, things that are happening, they're exploring, their personalities are making them go into these things. So for me, I think parents should stop thinking about what other people are saying about them and take care of their children and make sure their children feel loved. That's the most important thing. All else can fail, but you have to remind your children and show them that you love them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think that is a very important message. Do you feel in your during your time when you were going through that particular stage in your life, did you have family support? What was your experience like? Who was there for you? Who was the most who was the person who reprimanded you the most? What was your experience during that time that you can share with us?
I had the support. Maybe not as I would have desired, but I had support.
Mm.
Emotionally, I feel I really went through a lot, but financially, my mother took care of me and she made sure I
Mm-hmm.
never slept hungry. My child was okay, as in everything was okay financially.
Yeah,
But then you
yeah,
realize also a child or a teenager or a young girl needs support needs support emotionally. So that support is what I didn't get, but I thank God that I was able to even go to school, learn about psychology, and help myself.
mm.
Because you see, the truth is, someone does have to help you. So if I went to school and she's the one who paid for the school, then somehow she did support my emotional well-being. Yeah.
Yeah,
So and I take
yeah.
it as my mom did a lot for me, and it took me through the pain I was going through.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. Um, what in your experience is the most prevalent psychological, or not necessarily psychological, but mental health struggle that a young mom would be experiencing if they
Mm-hmm.
are teenage moms, if they are if they seem to have made that kind of a mistake that we consider a mistake because they are young and they're still teenagers, what do you think these people struggle with the most during that time when it comes to their mental health?
What do you think? Sorry?
Can you hear me
Sorry,
clearly?
the volume is so low on my side.
Oh,
I don't know why.
it's still low up to now.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
strange. I don't know. Guys, if you can hear me clearly, can you let me know in the comment section so that we can confirm if it's where exactly the problem is. So Sandra Achieng, John, Joe Pompey, Daisy Abwao, and CD, Dina Kwamboka, Ken. Please, if you can hear me, say hello in the comment section so that we know that where the problem is coming from.
I can hear you,
Yeah.
but in a low, like you sound low. Your voice is
Yeah.
so much lower. You are so clear in the beginning.
Yeah, it could be something that has just happened. I really can't tell because I'm on full volume from my end. I don't know what the issue could be. But my question was about the
Yeah, yeah.
mental challenges, the emotional challenges that people face, especially when they are young moms, especially when they're going through that period of time where everybody is considering them to have made a mistake. What do you think is in your experience when they come to you as clients? What mental health issues do you see them struggle with the most?
I think number one is rejection. When you make a mistake that you think is a societal mistake and people take it as a mistake, you feel like you're rejected. That's number one. And the people around you probably have shown you signs of rejection. They've shown you signs that they don't want to interact with you. They've shown you signs that they are ashamed of you. And so it's a lot to take in, especially when these are the people who you expected to love you, to hold you, and to unconditionally love you. So that's number one. Number two, I think trauma. Because, for example, if you become a young mom at an early age, it's traumatic because you're not ready for the physical changes that are happening to you. You're not ready for the emotional changes that are happening to you. You're barely ready. So the things that are happening to you are traumatic. Maybe no one is taking you through them, so they find you in a state of surprise. And you're like, oh my God, this is happening to me. No one is even caring, like, okay, this girl might be going through so much. So it's traumatic. And I think most of the time it's the rejection. No one is taking time to understand that you're in a mistake and you're already sorry, you're already regretting. Then they're like, no, you made a mistake, we do not accept you, we judge you. And I think that's what we do as a society most of the time, which we also need to correct. If your friend is going through something and you feel they've made a mistake, remember they know they made a mistake. Remember that. Remember, if there's anyone who is beating them up, it's themselves. So you shouldn't be the one to beat them up about what they've done or what they've, because we all make mistakes. We are all human. And I keep saying the only reason why you're not in the same situation with your friend is only by the grace of God or whatever higher being you believe in. But everyone can be in a situation that their friend is in. Everyone. No one is immune because we are all human. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I hope that anyone who's listening who has been in such a position, anyone who's listening who knows somebody who has been in such a position can learn to extend grace and remember that we all need support. And as you said, it could be any one of us. There's nothing that makes us special or unique just because we are not suffering in a similar way or we are not going through the same thing. So thank you so much for sharing that. I really appreciate that. And as we are coming a bit close to the end of this live, and we can't end it before you tell us something to do with how you practice self-care, because you've mentioned in the beginning that you have been having a busy week, and I can imagine in the middle of that busy week you have to take care of yourself. So what for you is the self-care practice that you take on a daily basis to make sure that you don't burn out, that you still remain at 100, that you're still able to perform on a day-to-day basis? Something that you can teach us along those lines would be fantastic.
Okay. There's a lot. I think, everyone needs to take care of themselves, especially us, because I think we listen to so many problems, we take care of so many people, and if you don't take care of yourself, then you burn out. which is a place I find myself at sometimes. So number one, I attend personal therapy from time to time, not all the time, but I attend personal therapy. Number two is I always learn to say no when I have to. So if I'm too tired, I can just say, I'm too tired, I can't really do this. And I realize that's such a big form of self-care that people usually forget. So saying no is very important, and realizing when you're past your limit. Another thing is taking walks, finding time to exercise. It doesn't have to be a 30-minute workout. It can be a 5-minute walk, 10-minute walk. It can be a stretch, a few stretches. So I always learn to make sure I take care of my body in some way, like I'm giving it some attention. Another thing is the food I take. I'll try and take as much water as possible. I walk around with a water bottle. People are like, yeah, these people for water bottles, there's some joke that comes with it, but I am those people. And I think it's good. Water is life. It gives me energy. I'm never drained. So I take my water religiously. And even when I'm sick, you'll realize I'll get better faster. Yeah, I think also just realizing which energy is not for me, which energy serves me, and energy in people, that is. So I make sure I stay close to positive energy and I stay away from negative energy. And it's very simple. If I feel positive around you, I'll stay around you. If I don't feel positive, it's a bit of a friction. I'm like, I don't think you're good for me. And it's very simple. Self-care is those simple things you do to take care of yourself, to preserve yourself. Because we're in a world that is out here to use us. It's out here to destroy us, to kill us. So if you do not preserve yourself, then you're out to have a very rough ride where you get depleted all the time.
Awesome. That is good to hear. Especially the thing that I love the most is the saying no. I think we have a pandemic of people saying yes to things, especially when they can't deliver them. Yeah, I think it's important to learn your limits, to know where your boundaries lie, to know that you can say no and it is totally fine for you to say no, as a form of self-care, as a form of self-preservation. So I think that's important.
Yeah.
There could be somebody listening right now who is not in a position to get therapy services. They're not in a position to see a counselor. They're not in a position where they can get, maybe they don't have the finances to go see a mental health professional. What resources would you direct them to go and check out and take care of themselves, use them as therapeutic aids of some sort to keep themselves afloat until they find a therapist? What are some of those things?
I know this will sound very generic, but number one, Google everything. If you want to Google, people say Google is your friend, and people are like, oh, it's such a. Google is your friend. Google is your friend. If you want to search about signs of depression, there is a lot going on Google, and many organizations have free information about mental health disorders or mental health issues. Let me not say disorders, because all of us have mental health issues, but they're not disorders. So I support Googling. Of course, don't go and take everything, but look for reputable organizations. So if it's WHO, World Health Organization, look for an organization that has a name, not just signs of depression out of the blue. There are very many places, baby center, there are so many for moms. If you're a mom, I wouldn't want to advertise any organization, but I would say there are several. There's also 360 Mental Health on Instagram, and there are so many. But if you search mental health and it's an interest you have, you will find so many organizations, because I know people have different issues. If there's someone watching today, they have different issues. One might be thinking about, oh, how can I prevent depression? Another one might be thinking, how can I work on my anxiety? So I can't really say one or two things, one or two places, but I would say check for your particular issue, and then, check the organization that's talking about that and follow up with them. Another thing I think people should do is Kenyatta National Hospital has a youth center where they have mental health practitioners for free. they have psychiatrists, they have psychologists. So psychologists for talk therapy and psychiatrists for anything like medicine in terms of mental health disorders. So it's something to explore if you really need to meet someone. There's also free counseling services in churches. If you're a Christian and you need counseling, most churches will have that. So try and plug into the community around you. The other thing is have friends. And it doesn't have to be someone who you're saying, this is my best friend. No. Have people around you who can support you, who can act as your support system. Don't say this person has this issue, this person is a big mouth, this person. People have different strengths. Capitalize on people's different strengths and create a support system. Yeah, don't look for perfect people, just look for people who have different strengths, and that can work as your support system. So that's what I'd say for taking care of yourself as a human being, because we all need mental health. So anyone who's watching, try and keep your options open. Try, and even if you want to take care of yourself, as I've said a few things, but you can even Google other ways of taking care of yourself. So taking care of yourself is a work in progress. I can't even say I have achieved let's say I've reached 50%, I've achieved 50%, but it's a work in progress. We're all working towards taking care of ourselves and learning ourselves. It's a continuous process. So keep learning who you are, keep learning how to take care of yourself, keep learning what are your wounds, and also keep learning how you can deal with those wounds.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing all that. I really, really appreciate it. And I'm sure that it will be useful for anybody who's listening who is not in a position to get to go specifically to a specific therapist or anything. But this is a place where they can start when they want to take care of themselves. So thank you so much for sharing that, Ivanna. I really appreciate it. As we come to the end of this live recording, let me recognize Naomi Wambugwa, who is here, and Fadili William, Daisy, Sandra, Joe Pompey, and CD, and Diana, and Ken. Thank you so much for coming through and hanging out with us during the past couple of minutes. It's been fun and it's been awesome. So Ivanna, as we come to the end of this live recording, if somebody has been listening to this and they're thinking that they would want to work with you for whatever services, to work with their teenager, to work with teen mom, to work with their kid, if that is the person who's listening to you right now, they're looking to work with you, what is the easiest way for them to reach you?
I think now, since we're on Instagram, the easiest way to find me is Ivanna Waweru on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm Ivanna Waweru everywhere on Facebook, and there's numbers that you can reach me on my platforms. So yeah, if you reach to me on Instagram or Facebook, you'll find me.
Could you read out the number so that we can put it in the description box of the video?
Pardon?
Could you tell us the number so that you can put it in the description box of the video?
Okay, yeah. My number is 0705 240 910.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And we'll put that information in the description box so that when people need to call you, people need to reach you on Instagram and Facebook and every platform, they can find you easily and contact you and work with you for whatever service that they need. So thank you so much, Ivanna, for coming through today. I don't know if you have a last parting shot before we end this live recording, and that would be fantastic if you would give us that. Ivanna, are you there?
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, you're back. Oh yeah, you disappeared. You are completely frozen.
Okay, I'm here now. Can you hear me?
Yes, now you're back. My question was if you have a parting shot you would like to tell us, to give us before we end the recording, as we have come to the end of the live recording.
Maybe just what I'd say is mental health is for everyone. Everyone needs mental health management and learning how to take care of their mental health. yeah, and keep checking yourself, and it's okay not to be okay.
Fantastic, fantastic. Thank you so much, Ivanna. Thank you, everybody who has been able to join our live recording, who has been able to come and chill with us and hang out with us for the last 1 hour. We appreciate you, we appreciate your time, and we appreciate your presence. Thank you, Ivanna, for the work that you're doing and for coming to our live recording today as well. Know the therapist has appreciated your presence, and I'm sure that if anybody is listening, they've been able to get to know you a bit more, and they will be able to find you and work with you when they need you. So thank you, everybody, and thank you, Ivanna. And I wish you all a wonderful
Thank
holiday
you.
tomorrow and a wonderful rest of the week and weekend. Until next week, come back again for another wonderful episode. We'll be hosting another counselor. Her name is going to be in our poster. You're going to see it. You're going to see everything. It will be all there. And I will see you all in the coming week at 7 p.m. on Thursday. So see you and good night, Ivana. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you.